Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is due to land in Saudi Arabia today and is scheduled to meet with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman to discuss the attacks on Saudi oil fields over the weekend. James Carafano of the Heritage Foundation is here. James, thanks for joining us.
Sure.
All these questions about who's responsible. How does that affect the response as you see it?
Well, we all know that ultimately Iran is responsible. Even if surrogates conducted this, they wouldn't have done it without the capabilities and resources provided by Iran. But, one thing I would say is, there have been over 1,200 attacks on Saudi Arabia. We don't know if the Iranians even knew what this attack would accomplish, or they may have actually been trying to do this all along, and this is the first time they got lucky. So I think we need to look at the attack in the context of the whole confrontation, not just as kind of some one-off crisis where the Iranians were trying to spark World War III.
Yeah, and Iran actually said they sent a letter via Switzerland to the U.S. saying they don't want an attack, they don't want a larger conflict. But that begs the question: what should our response be? The president and the vice president are keeping military intervention on the table as an option, but Germany is saying, look, let's do an investigation. Obviously, we want diplomacy first.
Yeah, that's a great question. So you have to look at it from what does the United States need to do in the region? The number one thing is we have to keep the pressure campaign on, because that's what's keeping Iran constrained. And part of that is legitimacy of our actions. So we always have to make sure that the international community recognizes that Iran is the bad guy. The other thing is we have to lead in keeping the Strait of Hormuz open. That's where all the oil flows through, because we're the only country that can really do that. And then the third thing is we have to support our allies. So this was an attack on Saudi territory. The lead should rightly come from Saudi Arabia. They have the responsibility to defend their own territory. And like a good friend, like we support the Israelis, when they do self-defense, we should support our ally. But the Saudis need to lead here.
Right. Senator Graham tweeted this yesterday. The measured response by the president regarding the shooting down of an American drone was clearly seen by the Iranian regime as a sign of weakness. That's when Donald Trump pulled back from a retaliatory attack on Iran. Do you think Iran sees the U.S. as weak, or are they totally strangled and desperate because of the sanctions we have on them?
Well, here's the problem with Senator Graham's response. It's easy to connect the dots you want to connect, but what actual evidence does he have that says that's what Iranian behavior is? I look at that exactly opposite, because after that, we didn't do a kinetic response. We didn't attack Iran back after they shot down our drone, but we shut off their oil flow to Syria. And that was a huge blow that the Iranians couldn't respond to. So I think the Iranians are really constrained. I wrote about this on the Fox News website. I don't think they're in the driver's seat here. And I think they're fighting to find a way out of the box. I don't think they feel like they're in control.
Yeah, and then, they say they have the power in the oil markets, but we have so much shale right here in the U.S. that you take some Saudi oil offline, what difference does it make, right? Oil prices coming down again today.
Yeah, China is sitting on billions of barrels. The world is awash in oil right now. And if anything, it makes the Iranians look weaker. We don't need the Iranian oil. And there's plenty of oil out there to keep the world pumping.
James Carafano, thank you.
Thank you.